This is Jonathan Aggie, your fifth pro boxing fans, joined by Curmel Moton here at DLX in Las Vegas. Curmel, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just got some good training in. Staying ready for my fight.
So May 31st continues. Caleb Plant card. Is that at T-Mobile or
No, it's
MGM?
at Michelob Ultra Arena. That's it.
Mandalay Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the ring, you must be excited.
Yeah, definitely. Looking to go 8-0 before I turn 19. So just ready. Having a great camp so far. Weight cut's going great. And I'm ready for my opponent. I don't know too much about him. I just know he's taller than me. He's like 4'1", I think. He's like 5'11", his height, and but at the end of the day, none of that matters. I'm used to fighting guys that got so much experience. I've been in the ring with so many different guys, and I'm used to every style, so I'm ready for it.
What's the plan for this year? How many fights do you reckon you'll get?
I don't know. We'll see. This will be my second fight this year. I plan to get at least 2 more, if not 3. So we'll see how it all goes.
Talk to us about your last fight. The guy was tough in there. Talk us through it.
Definitely. He was durable. What was his name? Frank Zaldivar, I think so. Cuban guy. He had a pretty good amateur record. I feel like I heard that he shared the ring with Andy Cruz in the amateurs. So he had a little bit of experience, but I was able to break him down pretty quick within 3 rounds, and just my pressure got to him.
Let's talk about a guy who you were sparring, one of my countrymen, Giorgio Visioli. It looked like good work though. How was it?
It was good work. It was definitely good work. Eddie Hearn talking online. He doing his job. He being a promoter, and he's trying to get his guy's name out there more. His guy shared the ring with me, being one of the biggest prospects in boxing right now. So he's seen the opportunity, and he capitalized on it. Everybody's talking about this guy right now. They claiming that they whooped on me, but they can say what they want to say. We both know how to spar with, and if Eddie's seen the footage, like he said, and he feels like he pieced me up, then he should be confident to set a fight up with us, and I'm ready whenever they want to do it.
So if you were offered that next, I don't know if it would happen, would you take it?
Absolutely. I'm ready for that right now. Absolutely.
Okay, interesting. Let's talk about the fights this weekend. We'll start in New York. Big upset, Roelly beating Ryan Garcia. Did you expect that?
Yeah, it wasn't really upset to me. I had bet on Roelly. I won with Roelly, but it wasn't an upset to me. They got a lot of history, and I feel like when Roelly caught him with that shot, Ryan's mind just went back to their sparring match at Mayweather Gym, and he was just kind of gunshot since that round, and I was a little surprised with Roelly's boxing skills. He looked like he's sharpened up a lot since his last few performances, and I was real happy for him. He looked great.
Devin Haney beating Jose Ramirez. A lot of people weren't sort of impressed with the performance.
It is what it is. Every fight's not gonna be a good performance. I feel like on both guys' sides, it wasn't really, the most exciting fight. Ramirez didn't really, throw any more punches than Devin did at the end of the day. So, it is what it is. But congrats to Devin.
And how do you think Tio looked?
Tio looked good. I missed some of Tio's fight, I'm not gonna lie, but from what I seen, he looked good. I feel like he could have stopped dude though, but he was kind of just showboating a little bit.
Moving on to the Canelo fight. Again, not the best fight with Skull, but what did you think of it?
I don't even, Skull, I think Skull had said that he was nervous, right? Because it was his first time on a big stage. I don't know. I guess the nerves just got to him. He was just, he gave Canelo too much respect. And then, Canelo was just lax, I feel like there was time he could have pressed even more to try to get dude. But, he was just taking it round by round, just getting an easy dub. So it is what it is.
Talk to us about Canelo against Crawford announced for September 12th at Allegiant Stadium. What do you think of that fight?
I feel like it's going to be a great fight. What are they doing to that?
Yeah, 68 for Canelo's undisputed titles.
Okay, 68. That's a big jump for Crawford, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it could go similar to the fight how it just went with Skull, but with Crawford throwing a little bit more punches and then getting on his toes, boxing, and then he letting his hands go more. So he might be able to edge a decision out against Canelo, outbox him. So I feel like Canelo struggle with fighters that are good on their feet, or there's a possibility that Canelo walks him down and Crawford doesn't really adapt to the weight and the power up at 68. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. But I know both of them are real great fighters, and I'm just excited to watch it.
I think Canelo's feet is slowed down, and Crawford could potentially outbox him if he can adjust to the power.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like Canelo's feet were ever, super fast. That was never his thing. He has great waist movement, great steady pressure, but I never really feel like he had the best footwork. But I feel like definitely it's slowed even more with him going up in weight. He's kind of just, waiting, sitting down on his punches, waiting for big counters. But it just depends, if he's able to cut off the ring. And if Crawford even uses that game plan. Maybe he stays in the pocket with Canelo. We'll see.
Two more. Inoue last night, coming off the floor to knock out Cardenas or stop him. What do you think of his performance?
It was a great performance. Inoue always puts on a good performance. He got dropped. He was taking chances. He got a little careless and hit him with a good counter, but he got up and handled business. And that's what it's about.
And then lastly, we had a big fight in the UK a couple of weeks ago. Benn, Eubank Jr. Did you watch it, and what did you think?
Yeah, I watched it. I feel like it was a great fight. I was happy for both those guys. They put on a great show, and congrats to Chris, of course. I just feel like it was a great show and a great fight for boxing.
What did you think of Benn moving up 2 weight classes and putting on a performance like that?
He definitely showed a lot of heart, and he showed a lot of skills too. He was in there banging. He showed that he can handle the weight up there. He has the power, and he's durable enough to handle them weights. So if he wanted to keep fighting it that way, he could. But I feel like he's gonna go back down and stay at his weight.
How would he do against Boots?
With Boots, Boots is real sharp. Boots is real skillful. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I feel like I'll lean towards Boots in that fight.
Cool. Curmel, appreciate your time. You are back May 31st. Tell the fans what they can expect.
Yeah, just, expect me to go out there and put on a great show, as always. I've been working hard, and it's going to show in the ring, for sure.
Curmel, cheers.